Jimmy Carter had just left a busy charity event, sitting quietly in his limousine as it rolled through the city streets. His tired eyes scanned the surroundings until they caught sight of a young boy on the roadside. The child was begging while simultaneously studying a textbook, a sight that made Jimmy's heart ache. Without hesitation, he instructed his driver to stop and stepped out of the car. Approaching the boy, Jimmy knelt down to his level. The child, startled, looked up at him. "Hello, son. What are you doing out here?" Jimmy asked gently. The boy clutched his book tightly and replied, "My name is Danny. I'm studying, but I also need to make some money. My mom is sick, and we don't have anyone else to help us." Jimmy's eyes welled with tears as he took in the boy's worn clothes and determined expression. "Will you share your story with me, Danny?" he asked in a soft voice. Danny, struggling to hold back his tears, nodded and began to speak. "My dad was a soldier in Iraq. He lost his life while serving. After that, my mom had a stroke and became paralyzed. We can't work, and our landlord evicted us. Now we live in an abandoned shack. I want to become a doctor, but it feels like a dream that's slipping away." As Jimmy listened, a heavy weight settled in his heart. Something deep within told him he had to help this boy and his family. "Danny," he said with determination, "this story won't end here. I promise you, I will help." Jimmy placed a comforting hand on Danny's shoulder, looking straight into his tearful eyes. "Danny," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion, "your father gave everything for this country, and I won't let his family be forgotten. You're not alone in this fight anymore. From today, consider me your ally." Danny, overwhelmed by the unexpected kindness, whispered, "Thank you, Mr. Carter. I didn't think anyone would care." Jimmy smiled warmly. "Caring is the least we can do. Now let's start turning your dreams into reality." Jimmy followed Danny as the boy led him to the shack where his mother was staying. Along the way, Danny spoke about his mother's struggles and their daily hardships. "Mr. Carter, my mom was such a strong woman, but losing my dad broke her, and after she had a stroke, nothing was ever the same," Danny said, wiping tears from his eyes. When they reached the shack, Jimmy was taken aback by its dilapidated condition. The walls were cracked and the roof was leaking. As they entered, they saw a bedridden woman lying on an old mattress. Her face bore the marks of exhaustion and deep sorrow. Jimmy knelt beside her, gently taking her frail hand. "Hello, I'm Jimmy Carter. I've heard Danny's story, and I want to help," he said kindly. The woman turned her weary eyes toward Jimmy and with a trembling voice, replied, "Mr. Carter, it's heartening to know that good people still exist in this world, but asking for help feels like a burden too heavy to bear." Jimmy gave her hand a reassuring squeeze and said with determination, "Don't worry, you are not alone anymore. I will do everything I can to help your family find the life you deserve." Jimmy looked into the woman's tired eyes, noticing the years of hardship etched into her hands. She blinked back tears and said, "Mr. Carter, some nights I give Danny the last bit of food we have, so he doesn't go hungry. He hugs me and says, 'Mom, one day I'll become a doctor and make you better.' But deep down, I know I can't make that promise to him come true. That feeling, it shatters a mother's heart." Her voice broke, and Jimmy felt every ounce of her pain as if it were his own. Holding her hand tighter, Jimmy spoke with a warm yet resolute tone. "Listen to me carefully," he said. "This life in this shack ends here. Danny's dreams will one day come true, and he will be the pride of a strong woman like you. I'm here because your story has touched my heart, and I won't let you face this alone. Together, we will fight for a better life." The woman felt a glimmer of hope she hadn't felt in years, and as tears streamed down her face, they became a silent expression of both her pain and her gratitude. The next day, Jimmy Carter launched a large-scale campaign for Habitat for Humanity. He shared Danny and his mother's story across social media and television, urging people to lend their support. A house is not just a roof, it's hope, a new beginning. "Let's come together and give Danny and his mother that start," he said during a heartfelt speech, which quickly gained widespread attention. Donations poured in, and volunteers gathered to build a new home for Danny and his mother. Jimmy personally joined the construction efforts, hammer in hand, his determination evident despite his age. "This isn't just a house, it's their future," he said, encouraging the workers. Danny visited the site daily, watching as his new life took shape. "Mr. Carter, one day I want to be someone who helps others like you do," Danny told him, bringing tears to Jimmy's eyes. When the house was finally completed, Danny and his mother were invited to see their new home. As Danny stepped inside, he couldn't hold back his tears. "Is this really ours?" he asked Jimmy. With a warm smile, Jimmy replied, "Yes, Danny, it's yours. You and your mom now have a warm place to call home." Jimmy also established a scholarship fund to cover Danny's school expenses, ensuring he could focus on his education without the burden of begging. For his mother, healthcare services and a steady income were arranged, giving her the stability and dignity she deserved. These efforts brought both physical and emotional strength back to the family. Standing outside the house, Danny's mother looked at Jimmy with tear-filled eyes. "Mr. Carter, we could never have dreamed of this moment without you. You didn't just give us a house, you gave us our lives back," she said. Jimmy gently responded, "Life is meaningful when we help one another. The real hero here is you. You endured so much and never gave up." 1 year later, Danny was thriving as a top student in school. His mother's health had improved, and their new home was filled with peace and happiness. Jimmy continued to follow Danny's progress and remained a constant source of support. One day, Jimmy received a heartfelt letter from Danny. "Mr. Carter, one day I'll become a doctor and change lives, just like you changed ours. You're my hero." As Jimmy read the letter, a tear rolled down his cheek. Danny's story is a testament to the power of kindness and hope, he thought. Danny's journey became a beacon of inspiration, reminding the world of the transformative power of compassion and community. During a television interview, Jimmy said, "Every hand extended to another has the power to change a life." That's what Danny's story teaches us. Jimmy Carter and Danny's story remind us all of the incredible strength of kindness and hope. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Together, we can make a difference in even more lives.